Hi guys, welcome to another episode on O'Neill Talks Football, where we cover every and any topic in the space of football, in the space of sports. You already know how it goes here. If you're new here, you already know it's always an interesting time. But if you're new here, make sure to smash that subscribe button. If you're watching on TikTok, so make sure to smash the follow button. And without much further ado, let's dive in straight into today's video. So, firstly, today I'm going to be talking about the draw against Wolves. And to be honest, the result was not the best. We should have won the game. It's a game that we should have won. We beaten Wolves this season just a few matches ago. We beaten Wolves 4-1 in their own home, that's away from home. For them to come to Old Trafford and get a draw, it's like a loss for us and a win for them. But then seeing a lot of reaction from United fans is just crazy. I know I'm going to sound like a broken record right now, but I still don't see this as an issue to be so alarmed. I've seen a lot of big pages, big United fan pages coming out to say sack the manager and all that. It gives me headaches when I hear stuff like this. Because how will you say you want to sack a manager that played that drew a game with a Wolves team that's Arsenal Arsenal that are topping the league right now. They are looking favourites to win the league. Arsenal won Wolves 2-1, a very scrappy win for that matter. Two own goals. Arsenal played Wolves and they got two own goals to win the match. They came out from that game very lucky. But no one has said anything about how Arsenal was bad in that game and all that. Okay, yeah, quite a few people said it, and most rival fans said Arsenal didn't play well in that game, and that's true. Quite a few rival fans said it. I came out to say it, but then no pure Arsenal fan came out to call Arteta out for playing that way against the same Wolves team. But when it's Manchester United, we want to ignore the fact that most of our players are out injured and most of them are, and some others have gone for AFCON. Our squad depth is shit. We don't have a very deep squad. So even going into the match, I was really not expecting so much of. I thought we were going to win, but I was not expecting that score gap we gave them in the last match. I was expecting probably a 2-0 or a 2-1 victory. But as it is, it's 1-1. And it's not the end of the world. We are still sixth on the table. How is it that we finished 15th last season and we are sixth on the table right now? Draw on points with Chelsea, which are fifth on the table. So we're practically fifth on the table. And you don't see progress and you want the manager to get sacked. It's just alarming to me. I don't just understand, guys. If you feel the manager should be sacked, please give me your reason in the comment section. I'll try and change my mind. Because at this point it's like all you United fans want to do is just shit on the manager. Not all, because there are still a lot of Manchester United fans that are still level-headed. But most of these reactionary fans, big channels like United Stand, I'm really disappointed. Well, I was not really a fan of United Stand from the scratch. But the United Stand came out to say Amorim is out of his depth. Well, what exactly are we expecting from this manager? To finish first, to win the league in his first full season, you should win the league or what? Because Ancelotti did it last season. Ancelotti won the league last season. Where is he now? How is Liverpool now? And you know what's now even crazy is that after the whole game week, because Manchester United played earlier in the week, and some other teams played, like Man City played, Liverpool played, and they all drew. Man City drew to Sunderland. But it's not the end of the world for them. In the press conference after the match against Sunderland, they asked Pep, you lost 2 points to Sunderland. And his reply to the journalist was, we won one. So a Sunderland team that is like not on the same level as Man City. So I really think we really need to, calm down. Like, we really need to calm down. If you look at the table now, the five teams ahead of us on the table have a far better squad than we do. The five teams ahead of us, that's Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, I think Liverpool, and Aston Villa. The five, those teams have a very better squad than us. I can even go as far as say we are ahead of a couple of teams that even have better squad than us right now, but we are still ahead of them in the league. So where is all this negative energy coming from? Sometimes I say this all the time. I don't feel like you guys are United fans. I feel you guys just want to keep driving off the fact that United is in a bad position, because whenever you get the chance to say bad about United, you get views, you get likes, you get comments. How do you expect us to grow as a team if you keep on, bringing them down? I saw a post somewhere, and I really don't want to believe it, but I saw a post somewhere where Matthias Cunha was angry at the fans, so at some fans at the end of the game, and rightfully so, to be honest, because these players have done, they've beaten most of our expectations. Nobody can tell me that the beginning of this season, after seeing what happened last season, you pictured us being top of the league or being at the top six in the league. But here we are. We are performing the expectations. But somehow you want to just look for only the negatives and push and say, yeah, let's get the manager out. Now Enzo Maresca is sacked from Chelsea, and people are asking how come Amorim is still in a job and Maresca got sacked. Forgetting that Maresca didn't get sacked because of results or performance. He got sacked because there was no more understanding with him at the board. You guys really need to check a chill pill. You guys take a chill pill. So yeah, let me know what you think. I would like to really know what you think. I would like to know if you agree with me or you feel like my point of view is, I don't know what I'm saying. I would like for you to change me and change my mind and convince me in the comments that Amorim really needs to get sacked and is out of his depth. With that said, I'll round up this segment on all reaction from Manchester United fans and move on to the next one. All right, so for the next segment of today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the January transfer window. The transfer window just opened yesterday, and there have been a lot of news, most rumors, and some already completed news. And I'll try to cover some of them as much as I can. But firstly, I would like to talk about my own club, Manchester United. Uh, in Amorim's press conference today ahead of the match against Leeds, he was asked about the transfers and players going in and coming out. And he said his words were, no players asked to leave, and he has not had any conversations with the board or concerning incoming transfers and all that. And I feel that is kind of a scary news to hear, because him not having conversations with the board could possibly mean that the board are no longer in support of him or his vision and they want to, move on. But then again, it could just be speculations, and we just have to wait and see how it goes. But we'll be linked to a couple of players. I saw somewhere where we were linked to John Philip Mateta from Crystal Palace as a new striking option. And I think that's going to be if Joshua Zexi is going to be leaving, because he has obviously agreed terms with AS Roma. So he's probably leaving on loan with obligations to buy. So I feel John Philip Mateta will be a good signing in a case where Zexi is going to leave the club. But all these are still rumors. We will still have to wait and see how it goes. Wait and see how the transfer window goes. But we really, really need to sign some more players this window. We don't have players coming back from AFCON yet. Ahmad and Mbemo, they are through to this round of 16, so they will still spend longer time in their country before coming back to the club. So we really need to improve the squad. The squad depth is non-existent right now, so we need to sign players and possibly we'll see Pat Amorim as the right man for the job. I still believe Amorim is the right man for the job. So I believe they could continue with him and get more players. But moving on away from Manchester United, there are a couple of interesting news. But firstly, I would like to talk about Brennan Johnson to Crystal Palace. I feel it's already a year ago from Brennan Johnson to Crystal Palace. It's already a done deal. The deal is completed and he'll be moving for a club record of 35 million euros. That's crazy. And I feel he's not he has been good for Tottenham, yeah, for some part, but most Tottenham fans, if you ask them, they don't really rate him that much. But I feel he's a good player. He's a good player in Brennan Johnson, but he's moving to Crystal Palace. Hopefully, he's going to get more game time. I don't feel there's enough space for him over there in Tottenham anymore. They have more attacking options and possibly would like to bring in more players. So, moving him on is a good is I think it's a win-win on both sides. And for the player, it's a chance to develop more in a team like Crystal Palace that are on the rise. It's a very good opportunity for him to stamp his name in a team like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Also, the Semenyo deal, we all felt like the Semenyo deal was done and dusted last year. All terms have been agreed, and just for us to wait for the transfer window to open and Semenyo was going to make his move to Manchester City. But it's looking like it's going to be delayed. It's going to be delayed for a little bit longer because in the press conference by Ireola, that's the manager of Bournemouth, he has confirmed that Semenyo is going to be playing against Arsenal, and the deal is still in the final stages for Semenyo to move to Manchester City. To be honest, I feel Manchester City are trying to delay this move, and this is just my thoughts. I'm not saying this is fact. This is just my thoughts. I feel Manchester City are trying to delay this move for Antoine Semenyo because Antoine Semenyo in Bournemouth, they stand a bigger chance to beat or get a draw at least from Arsenal than without him. So it's I feel it's Man City trying to play smart to break Arsenal's leg or shake Arsenal's table and close the gap between them and Arsenal. But it's just like I said, a speculation. It's not fact. So let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. Which other transfer do you think I've missed out on, and which other transfers are you looking forward to? Let me know in the comment section. With that, I'll be moving on to the next segment. Enough of this transfers news because most of what we see now is all rumors. But then I would like to know your thoughts in the comment section. And let's move on to the next segment. All right, so lastly on today's episode, I want to be talking about Enzo Maresca dismissal from Chelsea. It was a mutual agreement from both parties to part ways, and I want to say Enzo Maresca as a manager, he has really changed my view of him. I was not really a big fan of him when he came to Chelsea. I never really rated him to the standard of Chelsea. I felt he could only do it with smaller teams. Obviously, I didn't watch most of the games he was coaching for Leicester City when he was there. But then he came to Chelsea and he has done a good job. I'm not going to lie. He has won them two trophies. I know in the Conference League he played a lot of smaller clubs. So obviously Chelsea should have won the Conference League. That was so obvious. But then going on to the Club World Cup and beating a couple of big teams along the way, the PSG, which were currently the Champions League winners. He beat PSG convincingly and also went on to beat some other big clubs. So Enzo Maresca, in my own opinion, I feel he deserves some flowers, and letting him go was I don't say it's a big mistake on Chelsea's part, but I really feel it is a big mistake on Chelsea's part. It will be hard to get a new manager this time of the season that would come in and pick up and all the players would want to align with him. You could see what happened with Nottingham Forest. Till date, Nottingham Forest have not gotten themselves I heard they are also looking to sack Sondage after sacking Ange, which they brought in after sacking Nuno Espirito Santos just in one season. So it's wild. It's wild, especially when we are in between the season, we're inside the season, you're sacking the manager. But like it all happened, there was dispute between him and the board of Chelsea. And also I heard he was also talking to some representatives of Manchester United, Manchester City rather, which is also an insult to Chelsea. But he was obligated to let Chelsea know if he is doing that, and he did. So I don't see a reason why you should get rid of him by this time of the season. But nonetheless, he is looking as a very, very good replacement for Pep Guardiola in Manchester City. But the problem now is Pep Guardiola still has a year in his contract. With Pep Guardiola want to step down, you know, he still has a year, he still has this season and next season to in his contract. Will he want to step down? I'm not really sure about that. But it will be interesting to see how he does. But if Pep doesn't step down, he's going to, stay jobless. Possibly he's going to wait for the job, or he's going to go for another job. If he's going for another job, then he's never going to get a Man City job because he will be tied up in another contract. But it's been interesting to see how what's going to happen. And right now, it's looking like the manager of Strasbourg, which is also another club owned by the owners of Chelsea, the Bluco, and is Liam whose I hope I'm pronouncing his name well, but he's looking like the next manager. You can see according to this chart here, he has a 91% chance of becoming the next manager of Chelsea Football Club. It's been very, very interesting to see how all that plays out. And let me know your thoughts in the comment as always. Do you think it's a good decision to let Maresca go? I would like to know your thoughts in the comment section. And on that note, I'll call today a very successful episode. If you sat and enjoyed the episode, make sure to drop that in the comment section, and make sure to also smash the subscribe button. It helps the channel grow faster and reach more people. Like, share, subscribe, do all that. Follow if you're watching on TikTok, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Signing out.